Guys, there might be some bad news brewing for the future of consoles. Reliable insider Tom Henderson of Insider Game just dropped a bombshell report suggesting that the PS6 and next Xbox console may be getting a major delay. The culprit, skyrocketing RAM prices. If you're excited for next-gen hardware with insane graphics, ray tracing everywhere, and massive open worlds, this could push things back to 2029 or later. Stick around, hit that like button if you're worried about this. Let's get into it. First off, let's credit the source. On December 29th, Tom Henderson posted on X, linking to his Insider Gaming article titled RAM Prices Increase Could See Next Generation Console Release Delayed. In the report, Henderson says the entire gaming industry is worried about the RAM availability and cost, specifically the console manufacturers like Sony and Microsoft, and are debating whether or not to push back the PS6 and next-gen console from their planned release dates of 2027/2028 window to a later date. The hope? Wait for RAM makers like Micron, Samsung, and SK Hynix to ramp up production so prices drop and supply stabilizes. This isn't just speculation. Henderson has a solid track record, and multiple sites like WCCF Tech, Pure Xbox, and Notebook Check picked up the story immediately, confirming that debates are happening behind closed doors. Older rumors from 2022/2023 already pointed to 2028 as the earliest for both consoles based on Microsoft's documents from the Activision lawsuit, so delay wouldn't be totally out of left field. So why is RAM suddenly the main culprit? Next-gen consoles are rumored to be using GDDR7 memory for both graphics and system RAM, similar to the 16GB GDDR6 in the current PS5 and Xbox Series X consoles. However, the world is currently experiencing a severe RAM shortage, primarily driven by the rapid growth of AI. Companies like Nvidia, Google, OpenAI are rapidly consuming high band memory HBM and GDDR for training massive AI models. This shortage has already had a ripple effect on the price of regular GDDR5 and GDDR7 memory. Reports indicate that DDR5 has already experienced a significant increase of over 100% this year, with an additional 45% increase anticipated in 2026. For consoles, which require a substantial amount of unified memory, rumors suggest that 24 to 36 gigabytes for PS6 and the next-gen Xbox console. This situation presents two potential outcomes. A shortage of RAMs leading to launch shortages could be even more severe than those experienced during the PS5 and Xbox Series X launches back in 2020, or insanely high prices for the launch of the PS6 and next-gen Xbox console. We could see these consoles costing between $700 to $800 a piece, maybe even reaching close to $1,000. We'll see, man. And we have Micron, a leading RAM manufacturer that has warned that the shortage could persist beyond 2026 due to the time required to establish new factories. This problem also isn't limited to consoles, PC graphic cards, laptops. Even the new Steam machine are also feeling the impact of this RAM crisis. I mean, the new Steam machine is supposed to launch sometime early next year. We still don't have a release date or a price. I'm expecting this thing to cost between $700 to $800 at launch. Sony and Microsoft do not want to launch these consoles that cost $700 to $800 at retail. Remember the flack PS3 got for launching for $600? Consoles are sold at slim margins or even a loss to get you hooked on games and services to make that money back. If RAM adds hundreds to the bill of materials, they either eat massive losses or scare away buyers. Henderson's sources says they're seriously considering waiting 1 to 2 extra years for the market to cool down. That pushes us into 2029 or 2030 territory. We get more time with the PS5 and Xbox Series X, but bigger next-gen leaps like full path ray tracing, bigger open worlds, better AI NPCs all get postponed. Interestingly, current-gen consoles might get a price hike again in 2026 to offset this as contracts for cheaper RAM run out. If they don't get delayed, we could see some extortionate launch prices, as some reports are calling it. Rumor specs like 30 to 36 gigabytes of GDDR7 RAM could see the PS6 and next Xbox console launch at $700 or $800. Sales would tank. Consoles thrive on being affordable. The PS5 and Xbox Series X both launched at $499, even though there's a chip shortage, and it still was great for consumers. On the flip side, delay means more games optimized for current gen hardware, which is great because I feel like this console generation has kind of been lacking. We really haven't got any great games. And this could be, this extra couple years delay could see some really great games coming to the PS5 and Xbox Series X. I personally feel like they should just delay the next gen consoles. We barely got any true next generation games for this console cycle. PlayStation spent most of this generation on trying to make every IP they have into a live service game, which ended up blowing up in their face. Remember Concord? I mean, Xbox is already slowly exiting the console market. I know everyone's saying they'll be just fine as a third-party developer/publisher, but the recent games, i.e. Avowed, Outer Worlds 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, have all been major flops. And Game Pass doesn't look like the saving grace the company thought it would be. It looks like Nintendo did a great job though launching the Switch 2 when they did. They'd just be at the crazy price increase for RAM and other component parts. I think I speak for a lot of console players when I say take your time on the next-gen consoles and focus on making great games for the current-gen consoles. We're past the days of giant leaps and and bounds we used to get from console to console, I'm guessing going from PS5 to PS6 won't be that big of a deal. Plus, with the release of GTA 6 this year, people are okay sticking with their current gen consoles. I think PlayStation and Xbox, even though their next gen console is already DOA, will be just fine waiting until 2029 or 2030. Hell, I think the new Steam machine is also going to get delayed too. It's supposed to launch early next year, and we still haven't heard anything about the price or release date yet. Now, if you think this thing was supposed to compete with the PS5 and Xbox, think again. It was always meant to be a competitor in the PC marketplace, not the console marketplace. I could see this thing realistically launching at $700 to $800. All right, guys, that's it for this dive into next-gen delay rumors. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more gaming content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our updates. Until next time, guys, bye.